Привет. И мы вновь возвращаемся в Академию СБЦ. Мы получили задание, и нужно теперь направиться нам ну, где-то там на рынок. Так, где у меня такси? Жилые сектора. Так, рынки. Ой, это не те рынки. Ну, почти что то. Во, еще какой-то. Или он был уже, я уж не помню. Так, ну нам походу надо здесь. Так, давайте засейвимся, чтобы не напортачить. Вот этот якс.
Hold it. That's close enough, Army. You got my payment?
Do you have the X-Mods?
Show them the merchandise.
That looks right.
Damn straight it is. These mods are the best on the market. Now hand over my credits.
I'm taking you in, Jax.
It's a sting! Bastards set us up! The hell are you playing at?
Here's your money, Jax.
Sense of humor, huh? It's gonna get you killed one of these days, Army. Come on, boys. We're done here.
Да, хорошо пошутил. Джена в безопасности. Доставьте оружие Челику. Так, а что она почему она в безопасности, интересно? Непонятно. Ну ладно, как бы там ни было, возвращаемся к такси. К этому Челику. Так, доставь нас к Челику. Жилые сектора. СБЦ. Да, какая удобная штука. Я раньше, по-моему, особо так не пользовался. Ждал в лифтах, стоял по 3 часа.
Commander, I hear you have something for me.
Here's your shipment, Chelik.
Excellent. This is everything I need. Huh. Maybe more than I need. Here, Commander, take this. I won't need it, and you've earned some payment for your work. I appreciate your help. It shows a lot of integrity. You didn't need to do anything after I let Jenna go. Now I need to get these mods into evidence. Thanks again, Shepard.
Так, герой. А, я забыл левелап еще сделать. Джена безопасности. Ну, наверное, надо ее будет навестить в этой самой... А, еще с доктором поговорить. Ох. Как всего много. Как столько дел, столько дел. 59 уровень. Ну, нет смысла качать пистолет и начинать и первую помощь. Давайте устрашение уже, да, добьем. Так, Эшли Уильямс. А у них автоматом, что ли, улучшение? Ну да, наверное. Так, теперь поговорим с доктором Мишель сначала, потом пойдем в сверхновую. Так, ты что, кто достал? Жилые сектора. И клиника. Скрабс. Так, вот. Еще где-то 13 этих жуков надо найти.
Commander, how did things go?
He won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? That's a great relief, Commander. Thank you. I can't pay you for your help, but I can give you a discount on any supplies you purchase here.
Так, ну-ка.
The thug said he worked for a man named Baines. Sound familiar?
Baines? I wonder if he means Armiston Baines. We worked together a long time ago.
What can you tell me about him?
Last I heard, the Alliance military was contracting him for some research in the Traverse.
I wonder if the captain knows him.
Так, вот сейчас ВКонтакте зацените, что мне написали. Чувак пишет. Я не буду говорить, кто пишет. Привет. А можешь мне подсказать, медленные мышечные волокна это как понимать? Ох, ну как понимать? Вот есть быстрые, а есть медленные. Медленные работают, когда у нас медленная нагрузка. Повторение длительное. Ладно, это сейчас не с этой серии.
We'll see what the captain can tell us.
Я
I
придумаю
wish I
что-нибудь,
could
что
tell you
ответить.
more. Is there
Но
anything
для
else I can
большинства
help you
новичков
with,
это
Commander?
нафиг не надо все. Медленные мышечные волокна, как правило, при аэробной нагрузке нагружаются у нас. Так, ну все.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander. Nice to...
Журнал. Так. Траверс. Где это доктор Мишель? Безопасности. Криминальные разборки. Один из криминальных лидеров находится в системе... А, ну это я уже делал.
talking to you.
Так, целей нету. Давайте пойдем сверхновую сходим. Так, жук там, я его сканировал, не сканировал. Жилые сектора. Сверхновая. Поговорим, как там Джена поживает. Она вообще там работает, не работает. Тут вон еще мошенник этот. Сейчас его под зад пинком. На!
Yeah, what is it?
Что
Why were
случилось-то?
you tossed out of there?
Dorian didn't have a clue what I was doing. He assumed I was cheating.
You were cheating, though, weren't you?
I was just tipping the scales in my favor, only as an experiment.
It still sounds like cheating to me.
To you, maybe. But this device is merely intended to simulate situations and record results. Recording losses is easy, of course. Nobody notices those.
Why do you need to record these outcomes?
Ah, now you're getting to the heart of it. I've spent the last 5 years developing a system that can accurately predict wins and losses on the Quasar.
Фига себе, 5 лет потратил жизни на то, чтобы в эту дурацкую игру там с
Can you do
небольшой
that?
долей вероятности
Isn't that
выиграть
illegal?
почаще.
It's illegal to use my system, but I won't use it. I'll sell it to others. I just need a few more wins recorded.
Does the device help me win?
The device is set to emit a frequency that will slightly increase your odds. Nothing like my system eventually will, but enough to allow you to record your wins more quickly.
Why don't you just sell the device then?
What? No. This device is archaic. It uses brute force to achieve its goal. Besides, you saw how easily it was detected. My system, when it's complete, will be far more efficient and completely undetectable.
Does the device help me win?
The device is set to emit
Это я уж
nothing like
спрашивал.
my system eventually will, but enough to allow you to record your winnings. That should be payment enough, I think.
I think I'll take my chances the old-fashioned way.
Suit yourself. Well,
Журнал. Шелса ждет вас снаружи клуба сверхновой в верхних жилых секторах. Поговорите с ним, если хотите помочь. Не хочу я помогать жуликам. Я же герой, а не отступник. За героя играю, так что, ну как ты скажешь. Джена тут есть?
Hey, Jenna came back looking for work.
Всё
Thanks for
вернулось.
getting her out of Cora's den.
I was glad to help out.
Yeah, everyone seems real happy to have her back.
You don't sound that happy about it.
I'm glad she's out of the den. I'd just forgotten what it was like to have her around. I haven't had a decent tip since she got back.
Так, а этот карапуз где? На танцполе, что ли, уже? Не, нету его. Куда он делся-то?
I'm waiting for someone else.
Hey there, welcome to Flex.
А, вот он стоит. Здорово.
Hello again. Can I help you?
Just
Не можете
passing
мне
through.
help, ну чё?
Enjoy your time here at...
Я все, да, enjoy. Итак, ну, кажется, я все сделал. Все возможные задания, какие только можно. Еще бы я на самом деле сходил на всякий случай к спутнице, там, не к ней самой, а вот к той, которая там на ресепшене условно принимает. Может быть, у нее какой-нибудь квест есть. Ну, это недолго. А вот еще, это что такое? А, это... А, ну это этот... Восклицательный знак я просто увидел. Где такси? Такси. На лифте я точно не поеду. Это 500 миллионов лет ждать. Тут где-то вид можно посмотреть из окна. Чего нет его? Это же я помню. Блин, ну ладно. Так, давайте в президиум. Так, туда еще можно. Финансовые. Ну, покой спутницы, я как задумал. А оттуда уже направимся тогда к башне. Сейчас еще разочек на всякий посмотрим задания все. Ну-ка.
Hello again. The consort is very pleased with everything that you've done.
Any chance I can move up on her client list?
Yeah, she is grateful. The client list is a separate matter, and her schedule is completely...
I think I'm done here.
Of course. Come back anytime.
Фальшиво довольный голос. Так, смотрим еще раз. Цитадель. Игрок это Траверс. Вот сколько в Траверсе-то. Хранители, ладно. Цитадели, фанат. Мы с ним еще встретимся, мне кажется. Странное сообщение от это Хокинга, скопление надо искать. Тоже надо улетать. Да, все, кажется, все возможное выполнили здесь. Тогда нам нужен президиум. И давайте-ка к башне цитадели. А, не к башне нам надо. Зачем я к башне? Там же в этом, в ангаре он ждет нас. Точно, я забыл. Ангар. Ну что ж так долго, как в лифте прямо едем. Эй, ты завис, друг? Палы. Реально, как, короче, походу завис. А, не завис. Отвис. Вон так, пожалуйста, президиум. Нет, не президиум, значит. Давайте жилые сектора. В СБЦ нам нужно. Оттуда. Лифт идет. Да, этот лифт мы уже никак не минуем. А, это к президиуму. Сейчас уехал бы. Где тут вот это, по-моему, лифт. Да что там взрывают-то у меня? Лифт к стыковочному шлюзу, вот как раз. Поехали.
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
Где-то даже пародия была сделана на то, какие долгие тут катания в лифте. Так, ну давайте, Удина, давай, вещай нам.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it? I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Так, а тут, по-моему, не важно ничего. С чего
The
начинать?
colonists on Pharos might still be alive.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole, and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Так, давайте Андерсона
Yes, Commander.
поспрашиваем.
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing. But you're the one who can stop
Не
Saren.
будешь ты бумажки
I
перебирать,
believe in
не
you, Shepard.
волнуйся.
If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Why weren't you honest with me?
It's not something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back. Spectres are about the only form of citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
И следующая Novaria, или не как она там, это найти Матряха Бенезию. Так, Бэйнс он еще.
What do you know about Armiston Baines?
Where did you hear that name? Never mind, I don't want to know. Baines is dead. Has been for quite some time.
The people I spoke with seemed to think he was still alive.
It's not. Military's keeping it under wraps. Baines was doing some high-level work for the Alliance. Stuff even I wasn't aware of. One day he turns up dead on a drifting scout ship. Everyone suspects it was foul play, but it was never officially investigated.
What can you tell me about the ship?
I don't know much about it. You should talk to Admiral Kahoku. One of his crews discovered Baines' body.
I spoke to Kahoku. He never brought it up.
You should mention Baines the next time you see him. See if he'll tell you anything. Is there anything else, Commander?
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Так, опять добавили геморроя. Блин. По идее надо бы... Ну-ка. Ладно, не буду возвращаться. Из-за этого Кахоку.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it, nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander, 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of. Our enemy knows we're coming. When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too. Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped. And I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
Герой.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Bro. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
Так, ну, в общем-то, все.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Вот, узнали немножечко про Джокера, как он получил свое прозвище, как вообще оказался в Альянсе. Так, сейчас, секундочку. Я тут немножечко поудобнее сяду. Мне как-то паузу неохота ставить. Так, еще чуть-чуть. Оп, все, я уже устроился поудобнее, все. Можно продолжать. Ну, поговорим со всеми членами экипажа вначале. Узнаем, кто что вообще думает. Так, ну-ка давай-ка Пресли. Что-то он несговорчивый какой-то. Ладно, не хочешь говорить, не надо. Ну, честь отдали, правильно. Каким-то боком кодекс я еще выучил. Ладно. Идемте на первый этаж. Тут вроде как Эшли, Кайден, доктор Чаклас. Поднацелин, но он мне не нужен, походу.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Да, goodbye. Что за фиолетовые жидкости на борту корабля у меня? Так, это каюта капитана, теперь это мое место. Как-то аскетично вообще все устроено. Так, ну-ка давай так, Кайден.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Так, это, по-моему, тоже.
Just trying to get a sense.
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time.
We'll
for
talk
more,
another
Commander.
time.
Так, это я уже. Так, это что такое? Все, блин. Нельзя отсюда выйти. Потихонечку так опыт набираем. Остался плюс 1 уровень. И будет максимум 60. Хотя и так уже круче. Круче уже почти некуда. Так, пойдем там Тали у нас. Тализора. Что скажешь?
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporary. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births. Though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so a general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil.
Кварианцев постигла
Now
такая
we drift
участь,
through
ведь
space,
искусственный
exiled,
интеллект
searching for a way
создавался
to
и
reclaim
другими
what was
расами.
once ours.
Странно, странно.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our
Ой, у
birth
меня
ships
телефон
and seek
звонит, сейчас он
acceptance with a
перестанет
new crew.
звонить.
It's necessary to maintain
Потерпите
genetic
чуть.
diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Так, ладно, итак. Разговор затянулся.
See you later.
Так, ты что скажешь?
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship, the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, Commander.
Ладно. Так, что-то я подустал эту всю болтовню слушать. Давайте прервемся на этом. И уже, я думаю, в следующий раз возьмемся за дело. Сохранимся.